Let's talk about marketing. A stress free style of marketing. Marketing your martial arts school in a way that is simple, genuine, and stress-free. Martial arts school owners, I doubt that you open up your academy to be rich and famous. You did it to do what you love, which is teach martial arts in a way that transforms people into a better version of themselves. You want to be able to provide a decent living for yourself and your family, and you want to have the opportunity to build beautiful memories with them. As founders, we open up our businesses because we want to help people, not to spend countless hours hustling, trying to figure out how are we going to market ourselves or how are we going to recruit new clients. And this part of the business can be really frustrating and overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be just because everybody is doing it. For almost 10 years, I've been a digital products designer, a business consultant, startup founder, a behavioral science researcher, and I have used all these years of experience to share with you a strategy you can use to run your business in a way that is honest, stress-free, and allows you to be yourself. And today, I'm going to teach you how to do that. To clarify, this is not the only way that you can grow your martial arts school. There are so many ways to do this out there. This is just the way I believe you can grow your martial arts school for many years to come in a way that is meaningful and stress-free. This plan is simple, but I never said that it was easy. There are no guarantees here, and this is not a quick fix. Also, I don't promise you instant success or growth. Your results are dependent on the effort that you put in. And as martial artists, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. But I believe in you, and I know you got what it takes. You just need someone to show you the route. As we used to say in the Marine Corps, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And personally, I believe that is the best way to grow a business. So if you agree with me, let's get started. Okay, I know this video is supposed to be about a marketing plan that is calming and stress-free, and I promise it is. But just to give you a heads up, in terms of my energy, I'm probably gonna bump it up a little bit just because I get really excited about talking about this, and I want to make sure that you understand. So with that being said, let's get into it. And before we go into the 3-month plan that you're going to cover, where I'm going to tell you exactly what to do on a week-by-week basis, I want to first get into talking about what are the 3 themes that you need to keep in mind as you're doing this marketing plan, right? So the first thing is that you want to be able to know what is your marketing objective, right? The overall goal. Then we want to talk about what are the growth methods that you're going to use while you're conducting this marketing plan. And the third thing is we're going to talk about what is value-driven content, because that is the bread and butter of this marketing plan. All right. So without further ado, let's get into it. Oh, and another thing, I'm experimenting, obviously, as you can see with this whiteboard. If you cannot see what I'm writing, do not worry, because I created a document that if you give me your email, I will send you for free everything that I'm covering here. So you'll be able to have a digital copy with everything that I'm describing, with a bunch of visuals broken down. So don't feel like you have to be worried about taking notes or you cannot see. Excuse me. I'll share that link where you can get your copy of everything that I'm talking about, this 3-month marketing plan, completely for free. So make sure you check the link on the description. And all right, enough talking. Let's get into this now. So marketing objective, right? That's the first thing that you want to keep in mind. So what do you want to do in order for your marketing objective? Okay, so there's 3 steps into this marketing objective. Number 1, you want to create value. You want to be able to create value-driven content, right, in order to build trust. So you want to create value-driven content in order to build trust. Okay, let's take a pause here, because who are you creating this content for? So Your goal is your target audience, which is your future martial arts school students, right? Those are the people you want to recruit, that you want to bring into your school. So you want to create value-driven content for them, for your future students. And you want to do it in a way that builds trust, right? So I'm not going to get too much into it because I'm going to cover it right now. But an example can be like a self-defense tutorial, right? Especially right now, going back to school, creating a self-defense or anti-bully self-defense tutorial, something like that. And you can, give this to your future students, which as they see you delivering value to them for free, in exchange for nothing, they are going to start trusting you, especially when I hope they don't have to use it, but if they have to use a self-defense maneuver that you taught them, that it actually works, right? So it's effective, but as they see the value in what you taught them, that's going to start to build trust. As I mentioned, is very similar as when you're building a relationship with your partner. And the reason why it's similar is completely intentional, because that is how you're building a relationship with them, right? You do things that build trust in the other person, and then that person gets to trust you and have a relationship with you. Okay, so then once they trust you, right, and they form a relationship with you, then they become your new students, right? And this might not seem intuitive, but actually, if you want to get new customers, in your case, new students, you have to build trust and create a personal connection, which is what I've been talking about for the past videos that I've been putting on this channel. Why? Because people buy with their emotions. So this is where my background in behavioral science and where I studied consumer psychology, I learned this, right? That people buy goods and services with their emotions, and then later on they rationalize it, right? So because you know this, and this is proven by science, you want to focus on building trust. All right, enough beating the dead horse. Let's move on to the next theme, which is your growth methods. The growth methods that you're going to be using for this marketing plan are two things. Very simple, right? So your first one is online methods and offline, right? And why? Well, before I get into the why, let me talk about what are they. So the online methods can be obviously social media. It can be a newsletter, which I highly recommend that you create an email newsletter. It can also be a blog website, if that is what you want to create. And blogs are not only exclusive to a blog website. You can actually create blogs on social media, such as Facebook. You can do it on Instagram. Yeah. And you can even do a vlog, right? Vlog, so just a video blog. You can post it on, YouTube as well. Offline, right? Offline can be, let's see. Yes, offline can be events, right? So events that you are hosting, right? It can also, and what do I mean by events that you're hosting? As a martial arts school owner, you can have a family day. We can have, let's see, for example, a holiday. Whatever holiday is coming up, you can decide to celebrate it together as a school, right? And you can also go to local fairs and have exhibitions, or you hand out flyers, stuff like that. Those are the things that you want to do, right? In terms of offline events. So why offline and online? Well, because your students, hopefully they're humans, they live in both of these worlds, right? So you want to meet your students where they're at. So whatever place they frequent, that's where you want to go. You want to go to them. So online, you want to go to the social media platform that will be the most popular for them, right? So I don't want to get into it too much, but for example, if you were targeting adults, right? So anyone from 35 to 40s, I personally, I don't think I would go and target them on TikTok. Why? Because TikTok is a social media platform that is mostly used by younger people. I'm not saying only younger people, but the majority of the people on TikTok are younger folks. So that is just an idea of how to determine what platform to target based on who you're targeting, right? Kids, it will be a different strategy, obviously. And yes, so why you want to target online and offline, you want to meet them where they're at. Now, let's move on to the third thing that I want to bring up, value-driven content. So what the heck is value-driven content? Well, like I said, again, you want to give away something. You want to do it for free, right? In exchange of nothing. And you want to do it providing value to them. So you want, it's not just anything, you want to make sure there's something that is valuable to them, right? So, for example, martial arts, one of the reasons they would find value in martial arts is fitness. It can be self-defense. It can be learning how to control their emotions. Maybe somebody has an anger problem, right? So because we know those are the things that people tend to go to martial arts for, those are the things that you can make content speaking to, right? So you can speak to how martial arts helps you with discipline, helps you with focus, helps you better control your emotions, the way you treat yourself, the way you treat others, right? And you can talk about, you know, all these things. You can share them for free, and this will be beneficial in so many ways, but one of the clearest ways is that it helps you stand out as a clear choice for them to start their martial arts school journey. Because as of right now, not a lot of martial arts schools are doing this online or offline, right? Just giving away free content in this manner. So there are tutorials, and there are amazing tutorials out there, right? And I watch a lot of them for BJJ, so I'm not saying there aren't, but talking not just about a particular move, right? Talk about, create value that showcases, create content that showcases the value of your school and what makes you unique. You as a martial arts school owner, your school, and makes you stand out as a clear choice for them to start their journey, right? So those are the three things I need you to focus on in the marketing plan. By covering this, you know why you will be doing what you're going to be doing in the 3-month marketing plan. So I hope that was clear. Hopefully I didn't repeat myself too much. Yeah, and like I said, don't worry. I'm going to send you the link to everything that I'm talking about. A digital copy form is going to be on the description. So if you can't see what I'm talking about here on the whiteboard, don't worry about it. Just make sure you click on the link and share me your email, and I will be sure to send you all of this completely for free. So let's move on now. And now let's talk about the actual tactics that you're going to deploy in the 3-month marketing plan that will hopefully make your life stress-free. Okay, so getting into month one thing that I want to call out before I get into the nitty-gritty of what you're going to do every week to grow your martial arts school and recruit new students is this concept of the 3 R's of growth, right? So the 3 R's of growth, right? So what do I mean by the 3 R's of growth? So number one, the 3 R's of growth is what you want to focus on, the different phases if you want to grow your martial arts school. So let me break those down. Number one is recruitment, right? So that is focusing on bringing in new students into your martial arts school. Pretty straightforward. Number two would be retention. So what do I mean by retention? So retention has to do with you keeping the students that you currently have right now at your martial arts school. And it's more nuanced than that. So what do I mean by that? In order for you to keep them, you want to focus on, or at least I recommend you to focus on, how can you improve your current student experience, right? So taking a look at what is currently working, what is not, what are some of the things that need to be improved in order to make the student experience for martial arts folks more pleasant. What are some of the things that they want to do that your school is not currently doing? Why are those things important? Focusing on the why is super important on that. But that is one way that you can ensure that you keep the students that you have, right? By making sure that the experience that they have is better. Pretty straightforward. Number 3 would be your recommendation phase, right? So I'm not gonna write it all out, but recommendation phase. So this is where the students that you have, because you did such a great job at providing them a great environment, great martial arts lessons, right? They are so happy that they become your fans, right? They are the people that are cheering for you, and because they have experienced so much value from your school, they want to share it with who they know. They want to bring in their friends. They want to bring in people they know, because they want those people to also experience the benefits that they themselves have experienced at your school. And that is recommendation. One thing I'll say about that is that it is important that you focus on retention in order for you to get recommendation, because I would say that the most powerful sales force that your martial arts school can ever have is your students. You can say that you're the best school until you're blue in the face, right? But who people are going to pay attention is the people closest to them, the people that they already trust. If they haven't met you, they're not going to trust you. They're going to trust their best friend, right? Or their mom, their spouse, whoever it is, more than you, because they have a relationship with them, right? I mean, you think about it, like word of mouth. When somebody recommends you something and it comes from somebody that you trust, somebody close to you, most likely you're going to check that out, right? So that's the same principle taking place here in the recommendation phase. So I'll leave it at that, but for the sake of simplicity, right, I'm going to give you what I think is one of the most valuable things to focus on in terms of growth, and it's pretty obvious. It is recruitment. So let's focus on that. If you're more curious about how to create strategies for retention and recommendation growth phases, stay tuned, because I am creating a webinar where I'll explain more in detail all 3 and how to systematically grow your school throughout these other 2 phases that I'm not covering today. All right, so now let's move on. Let's talk about your first month. So one thing that I want to go through really quickly, I wrote the plan already on the left side for me, and I'm going to just write some of the key things to take away for each week on this side. And I'm doing it with a black marker. Hopefully you guys can be able to see it. Again, I'm not gonna go too much in depth, because I don't want to be just a talking head here and get you bored. But again, feel free to check out the link on this video's description. If you just give me your email, I'll send you all of this completely for free, all in detail. So if you don't catch everything here, don't worry. If you want to take notes, go for it. But if you just click on that link, give me your email, I will give you all of this completely for free. So, all right, let's go into month 1, week 1, right? So month 1, it's all about building trust, right? Getting people to know who you are. And so for week 1, what do we want to do, right? So for week 1, we want to, I just gonna put it here, week 1, and it's show your origin story, right? So what you want to do is that you want to share, you want to share with others your origin story. So one of the things that you can do is you can create a video, right? And for example, like we are talking right now on YouTube. If you want, you can do it on YouTube, Instagram, wherever you want. So just a clear example, if you're going for people that are around 35 to 40, 45, let's just say that is your target audience, right? Adults, right? I would say that YouTube will probably be your best bet, just from my experience creating videos and being able to see who sees my videos, most of the people that do are within that age group. So if you're trying to go for people that fall into that age group, I recommend YouTube. Somebody younger, Instagram. Somebody even younger, TikTok, right? So you create a video that talks about how and why you started your martial arts school, right? And why do you want to do that? Is because that is going to give you the ability to connect with people, right? People are going to get to know who you are. Why did you start your school, right? And have an idea of where you're coming from. And that's in terms of doing things online. Now offline, this is what you can do offline, right? So offline, you can distribute flyers, right? So you want to distribute flyers, and you want to distribute flyers in strategic places. So you want to go to, for example, gyms. A lot of people that do martial arts are into fitness. Schools, right? Especially if you're going for kids. Or you can go to colleges too if you want to go for targeting young adults, right? Community events, right? So you want to do community events as well. And one thing that I would recommend is for you to, on these flyers, talk about your personal story at a high level. And in that flyer that you give out, have a QR code. And I can send you, I'm going to create a video later on how to create QR codes. It is super easy, but I can teach you how to create a QR code that can send them to whatever link you want. So you can link that QR code to the link of the video that you, for example, posted on YouTube, and they can scan it and they can see it. And then once they see it, they can probably later on start following you on YouTube, right? But again, the flyer at these local places serves as a medium for them to get to see your content online as well, right? So that would be a good way to go about that. Make sure, like I said, that you pick strategic places, because again, the places that you target online and offline are with the goal of meeting them where they're at, right? Going to where your future students are at. And again, the biggest theme here for week 1 is you connecting with people. So now let's move on to what you want to do on week number 2, right? So for week number 2, week 2, you're going to put W2, right, is the benefits. You want to talk about the benefits of martial arts, right? So you want to talk about the benefits of martial arts. Online, what you want to do online is you can create a video talking about the top 5 benefits of martial arts for mental and physical health, right? That is one way that you can go about it. And why is this important is because by you creating a video like this, you're able to showcase your expertise, right? And you're able to, people will then be able to see the value that you can offer and that your martial arts can offer to them. Then what you want to do is that offline, right? You can do for offline, so in the real world where people live, you can do a community workshop. So you could do a community workshop that is, like I mentioned before, focused on self-defense at your school, right? So you want to invite them to your school, and when they come to your school, again, you want to have printed material, right? Like flyers. You want to have printed material that talks about those 5 benefits that you created a video on, right? So they're able to read about those top 5 benefits for physical and mental health. And once again, you put in that QR code so that they can then, with their phone, scan that and then go to those videos that you created. Because sometimes people don't want to read. Now, I'm telling you, most likely they will watch a video versus reading, right? So that is just one way to go about it. And why do you want to create an event like this, like a self-defense workshop at your school? Well, I would say it's for obvious reasons, but let me spell them out. So you want to give people a taste of what you offer. You want them to experience the environment of your school, right? And this is going to give you the opportunity to build in-person relationships with them. I think that's really important. I think it's one thing to see a place, you know, versus experiencing it firsthand, right? And that is going to give them a better idea of whether that your martial arts school is a place for them or not, right? So that is week 2. Now let's quickly move on to week 3. So for week 3, I'm just going to put W3. You want to focus on your students' success stories, right? So student success stories. And so what you want to do here is you want to create a video, right, about creating a video of one of your students' testimonials talking about how martial arts transformed their life. This can be in terms of fitness, it can be in terms of confidence, discipline, how they treat themselves, how they treat others, etc. Whatever they want to talk about, right? And what you can do, that is online, right? So you create a video, post it online. Offline, what you want to do is you want to post a flyer around your local community, right? Featuring the student success story. Again, put in that QR code, give them a call to action to watch the video, right? But also in that same flyer, give them a call to action to come and try out a free class at your school. That would be a great idea. Why? Because, and also, where you hand out these flyers, once again, you want to be strategic. Don't just go to any random place. Put yourself in your future students' shoes. If I was them at this age, where would I hang out? Where would I go? Right? Whether it be a coffee shop, whether it be at the supermarket, whether it be at the laundromat, wherever you think they're going to be at, post the flyers there. Of course, make sure you get their permission. Don't get yourself in trouble. That's the last thing I want you to do, and please don't make you responsible for that. But yeah, and so let me break down the benefits of doing this offline approach and the online. So in terms of online approach of creating this video of the testimonial of how martial arts benefit your student, that will be great because that gives you social proof, which gives you credibility and allows others to see what they can experience themselves if they go to your martial arts school, right? As I mentioned, when they see someone that looks like them, that probably is going through similar struggles or went through similar struggles like them, they start to see themselves in your students. And that is really powerful because if they're experiencing a particular problem, let's say, I'll talk about something personal that I was struggling with a lot before martial arts, which is managing my anger, right? If I would have seen a story of a person that was doing better at managing their anger after doing martial arts, I get emotional because I know for me that would have been almost a short, trigger or catalyst for me to go join a martial arts school. Honestly, and it's funny how I ended up going into martial arts was that at the time I was reading a lot of Jocko Willink books, and Jocko Willink talked a lot about if you want to be successful, if you want to be a good leader, if you want to, Jocko Willink talked a lot about humility, and he said one of the best ways that you can learn really quickly to be humble and to check yourself and to constantly try to be better is jiu-jitsu, and that is what got me into jiu-jitsu. So shout out to Jocko Willink. But yes, I digress. So by people seeing videos of people that look like them, that's going to give them the ability to see themselves in them, but also be inspired by them to go into your martial arts school and experience similar benefits, right? Offline, posting out those flyers, this increases your local visibility with the people that live or work around where your school is at, which is really powerful, right? So let's now move on to week 4. So, all right, really quickly. So what do you want to do for week 4, right? Now you want to talk about the benefits, right? The benefits behind the scenes, right? So behind the scenes. So you want to talk about the benefits of behind the scenes. What you can create here is what it sounds like. You can create a behind the scenes video of a class or a training session that you're having. And you can give people that are not part of your school, that you want them to join, to see what it's like to go to your school, right? And you can showcase whatever you want. I recommend showcasing, the fun, supportive environment that one can experience in a martial arts school academy. That's redundant, school academy, just academy. Yeah, I think for me, the biggest surprising factor that I saw when I first went into jiu-jitsu, and one of the reasons why I love it, is the camaraderie, right? This level of camaraderie that I experienced in jiu-jitsu, I was surprised by, and I honestly thought that I was never going to experience it again, like I did in the Marine Corps. Funny thing is that the school that I went to, I actually ended up bumping into a guy that I deployed with in Afghanistan. So that is how small the world is. But, I don't know, it's so crazy. You get to know a person in a way that you never thought. I don't know. I think you get to know a person so much quicker after you roll with him or her for a couple of times than you can get to know them in months or even years. Honestly, your personality, your tenacity, who you are shows up in rolling with someone, without you even realizing it. So that's just personal anecdote. All right. And then why do you want to do these things? So let's talk about the benefits of behind the scenes. So you give a glimpse to people of what it's like to be in your classes. I already mentioned that. And it helps people feel more comfortable, right? Again, for me, before I went into a jiu-jitsu class, I checked out the website. It looked really cool. Renowned people were giving testimonials. One of the reasons why I joined. But I had no idea what the environment was like. And to be honest, I was really intimidated. That itself is what took me a couple of weeks to make the decision to say, okay, I'm gonna go up there and ask to join a free class. That right there, just not knowing is I don't know, there's one thing that Seneca says, you suffer more in your mind than in reality, right? He said. Phew. But, and so I don't know why I'm so stupid. I made it so much more intimidated in my head than what it really was when I tried out jiu-jitsu for the first time. So, showing behind the scenes could be super beneficial and can probably debunk a lot of ideas or myths that people might have about whatever martial arts you have or that you're teaching. Offline, why you wanna, so offline, I didn't even talk about it. My bad. So for offline, you want to talk to local community members or even community leaders. I'll give you an example, right? If I was you, I'm Christian, so, and I mean, that doesn't really mean anything per se. And now hear me out, because I would probably invite like a pastor to come in and try out, a jiu-jitsu class. But honestly, just like I would invite a pastor, if a rabbi is down to do it, I'll invite them. Any spiritual leader that gives me, an hour of their day, I'll be more than happy to invite them to join the school, to try it out, to observe. I mean, I would push them to try it out, see what they like, what they think about it. But, yeah, this can give them an in-person experience. And, let's say that they don't want to try it, they don't want to join, right? But let's say, for example, what I just mentioned, like a pastor going and trying out your martial arts class, more specifically jiu-jitsu in this case. That person might not want to join, your school, but they found something fun. They found themselves more relaxed. They made new friends, and they didn't join your school, but they can talk about your school and what they experienced at their church, right? And then maybe one person or a couple of people from that church join your school. I don't know. That is an example of targeting members and leaders in your local community, and one of the benefits, and why I would tell you that you can talk to local members and leaders to bring them and try out your class. Let's take a pause here for a second, and I want to take this opportunity to talk about something that is super important but often overlooked, and that is mental health. Now, if you're running a martial arts school, you know just how rewarding it is to teach your students and watch your community grow. But let's be honest, it can also be really stressful. Between managing enrollments, creating marketing strategies, and keeping everything running smoothly, it can feel like you're juggling a million things at once. And if you're like me, sometimes that stress piles up, making it hard to focus or even enjoy the things you love about your business. That's why taking care of your mental health is just as important as running your school. Now, I found that one simple step to checking in your mental health well-being is through a quick, free mental health test. Cambry offers this test to help you get an idea of where you are and emotionally and mentally, so you can figure out if there is any extra support you might need to deal with stress, with anxiety, or even burnout. It's super easy to take, completely anonymous, and it only takes a few minutes. Plus, it can give you valuable insights into how you're handling stress. Whether you are feeling overwhelmed or just curious, this test can be a great way to check in on yourself and see if there are any areas where you might need a little extra support. And honestly, if you're running a martial arts school, that support can make a huge difference, not only for you, but for your students as well. When you are in a good headspace, it reflects on your teaching, your leadership, and your ability to inspire those around you. So it's really important. So if you're feeling the weight of running your business, or just want to make sure you're in the best mental shape possible, take a moment and click in the link in my description to try the Cambry Mental Health Test. It's a small step that can make a big difference in how you handle stress and navigate the challenges of running your school. And remember, taking care of your mental health isn't a luxury, it's essential. That being said, let's go back to our video. Okay, so now let's get into month number 2, right? So for your second month, your goal for this month is to provide value and drive engagement. And so how are you going to do that? So for week 1, right, week 1, sorry about that, that's my dog. You're going to focus on self-defense, right? Self-defense tips. So you're going to share some self-defense tips. So how you can do this online is by creating a short and easy to follow self-defense tutorial, right? You want to be able to do that. And at the end, make sure you provide a clear call to action for them to join your free class that you have coming up. And why you want to do that is because by offering value up front for free allows you to build trust with your potential future students, right? And they are more likely, if they trust you, to take the next step, which in this case would be to go to your free class. Now when it comes to offline, what you can do is you can distribute postcards promoting your upcoming free class, right? Again, what I would recommend is that you have a QR code on this postcard that you're handing out with the self-defense video tutorial. That would be really beneficial. And by what you're doing here is you're combining multiple touch points, and this helps you reinforce your messaging. Now, for week number 2, I'm just going to keep on going here. Week number 2. So week number 2, you want to do an interactive Q&A. So, and one thing I need to call out here before I go in further, I think I realized I didn't do. So I am doing this on video because for me, recording video is what I have the most fun with, right? And because it's the most fun with, more likely I'm going to stay in the fight and continue to create videos for you, right? So I would give you the same advice. Whatever online content you want to create, make sure that is what you like to do. Because in order to win people over, it's all about consistency, right? And what's going to increase your chances of you being consistent is you doing something that you love, right? That you enjoy doing. For me, I enjoyed making videos, and that is why I'm here. And I love being on YouTube. And I love consuming videos on YouTube. So for that reason, I chose this platform. But you can choose whatever platform works best for you. If you are a writer, you love to write, then probably blogs is a better route for you, right? So that being said, let's talk about week number 2, which I said is interactive Q&A. I think this will be really cool. I could be wrong, and I have no problem, being corrected, but I haven't seen this yet online, right? Which is having an interactive Q&A, questions and answers session online. And what you can do is you can go live on Facebook or Instagram answering common questions about martial arts and talking about the benefits of joining your school. I think that would be really cool because real-time interaction would allow you to build trust with your potential new students. And because of what I just said, I don't think I have seen martial arts schools do this. I could be wrong, but this will allow you to easily stand out, right? Because I haven't seen a lot of schools doing this. So you doing this, puts you up there as a person that stands out for good reasons. Then what I would say with interactive Q&A, you can follow up with people that have attended your workshops or your self-defense classes or your free classes, before at this point, and you can invite them to a Q&A session in person at your school, right? That will be really great because this personal follow-ups show that you care and that you help convert leads into students, right? But more than anything, it shows that you care about people that have attended to your events before, and that you want to help out and make them join your school or facilitate. You should not make anybody do anything, but you facilitate them starting their martial arts school journey. That's what I meant. Week number 3, right? So week number 3, it's all about family and community focus. So you want to focus all on the family and the community. So how do you do this? Well, one way that you can do this online is by posting either a blog or posting a video about you talking about how martial arts can strengthen family bonds, right? And this can be by a parent-child class, so you filming a parent-child class, or talking or interviewing people that have attended a parent child class. That would be great. Or, you know, it depends. If you want to, I suggest this just because it allows you to be more vulnerable. Excuse me. But, and that helps you to build a stronger connection, become more relatable, is, you know, you talking about how martial arts helps you have a better relationship with your spouse, right? Or with, you know, your partner. I think that would be really beneficial. Or you can also do it similar theme with one of your students if they're willing to do that, right? That would be another thing that you can do. Now, this will be really great because family content that you post online, it appeals to a wider audience, and it shows that, you know, your martial arts school is much more than individual training, right? It's that it is a community center. That is really important because that's going to open up people, you know, that's how you systematically start winning their hearts and minds for them to join your school, right? Offline, what you can do is, I mentioned this in the very beginning, which is having a family day, right? So you want to have a family day where you can also do, obviously, a parent-child online, parent-child class, right? You can have, like I mentioned, celebrating a holiday. Like, for example, jiu-jitsu school that I go to, or jiu-jitsu school that I went to before going to Henzo's in New York City, they celebrated Christmas, right? Or New Year's holidays. And so we all gather together, and, you know, that further enhances camaraderie, right, within the people. But also, like in that case, I was able to bring my fiance there. So it also, again, helps showcase that your school can be a community center as well. And now we're going to move into week number 4. So trying to go a little bit faster here. So week number 4, you want to focus on special offers. So you want to focus on special offers. So what do I mean by this? So you can announce a one-time, or not even a one-time, just a limited time promotion, right? It can be something as, if you join now, if you sign for 12 months, you get the first month free, right? Or it can be something like, if you don't do 12 months, maybe you can, programs or sign up structures, you can say, well, if you sign up now, you can get a new uniform, right? And you want to be able to share this across all your social media platforms. Highly recommend you that. One thing to call out here, because I've seen this a lot, and this is something I'm going to create a video on. This is going to be my next video, which is what are the mistakes you ought to avoid while doing a marketing campaign. One thing is that I want to call out, all social media platforms are not created equal, right? So every social media platform has a very particular role or a very particular way of consuming the content or type of content. Maybe that's a better word. So when it comes to LinkedIn, it's more professional, right? More buttoned up. When you're talking about Instagram or Facebook, it can be more behind the scenes, it's more personal. YouTube, so it's something like what I'm doing right now. It's just a tutorial, right? Or, you know, entertainment, right? More fun material. TikTok, I mean, TikTok, I would say, is more entertainment, right? There are some tutorials too, so sure, it's a very common ground with YouTube. So you want to take into consideration that is the type of content that does the best in those platforms, and you want to think about that when you are sharing your limited time offer, right? You want to do it in the way that content is consumed in those platforms, if that makes any sense. So then when it comes to offline, so I would say hand out flyers with your ongoing promotion. Again, use that QR code, right? And what you want to do is, what I would do if I was you, I would create a QR code that sends them, right? They can scan it with their phone and send them to the sign up page. So if you do sign ups to your school online, then you send them straight to that place, right? If not, and you like to do them in person, then you can sign them up. You can send them to the page where they can schedule a sign up to do for your school, right? So that's what I would say. And now let's move on to the third month. All right, guys, last push. We are on the third month. So let's talk about it quickly so we can wrap this up and I can go have some dinner. Okay, so for month number 3, you are going to focus on building long-term relationships and making sure you secure those conversions. So how do you do this? So for week number 1, right, you want to focus on the mental benefits of martial arts. This is something that I'm such a huge advocate of, just because I've experienced so many benefits in this area, right? So what you can do is that online, you can share content that is focused exactly on that, on the mental benefits of martial arts. And this can be such as, not limited to only, but discipline, stress relief. It can also be about confidence building, right? And you can do this with your current students, right? And the reason why you want to do this, and I'm such a big advocate of this, is because by highlighting these mental benefits, you show people that martial arts is about much more than just a physical journey, right? It's a holistic journey, right? And you are, by you sharing mental benefits of martial arts, you are going to be able to bring in people that are looking for something more than just a workout. People that are looking for inside out transformations. So I highly recommend that you do that. Offline, what you can do is, you can partner with local schools to offer a class where you talk about the mental benefits of martial arts to kids, right? And what you can do is that you can give a handout, right, printed with the benefits of martial arts. Again, put in that QR code that brings them into the video that you just created, documenting the mental benefits of your students, right? In this case, since you're sharing this with kids, I would highly recommend you interviewing some kids, of course, with parents' permission, because kids will be able to see themselves, parents will see other kids, and will most likely be inclined to join your martial arts school. Week number 2. Week number 2 is all about celebrating your students, right? So how do you want to do that? Well, online, what you would want to do is that you want to post a video, right, celebrating your students' achievements. And this can be different kind of achievements. It could be a belt promotion, it can be a competition win, right? Or it can be personal progress. For example, like somebody, lost a lot of weight within their first year of martial arts. That could be something, obviously, great and is tangible, but, somebody can be, they joined martial arts because they were struggling with anger issues, and they're doing such a great job, and, that has resulted in improvement in their personal relationships or work relationships, etc. That would be a great way to do that. And what you can also do, and this will be really great because this shows potential students what they themselves can also achieve. I mentioned that earlier, right? For offline, in order to celebrate your students, what you can do is that you can have a student appreciation event at your school, right? And you can invite the community to celebrate them. And you can offer trial classes to whoever attends. That's one direct benefit of doing that. But also a benefit of doing that as well is that you once again are highlighting that your school is a community event, right? Week number 3 is all about free resources, right? So how do you want to achieve that goal on week number 3? Well, when it comes to online, what I recommend you to do is to share a free resource, right? So you can create a downloadable document that has the guide to basic martial arts moves. Or what you can also do is you can probably create a document with your basic recommendations of a nutritional program to do martial arts, right? Whatever martial arts you're teaching, whether it's jiu-jitsu, boxing, judo. So you can share your personal recommendations for nutrition that have worked well for you and why. Or if there is a nutritionist, you know, in your school, or someone that has a better expertise around nutrition and martial arts, you can pair up with them and have them, you know, both of you create this document that you can give out to people, right? And again, why it's a cool thing to do something like this. It's important. Why? Because immediate value builds trust, right? And this makes you stand out as a clear choice for people to move forward with you. But also, this is how you start winning people over, right? It's all about systematically winning their hearts and minds. And, you know, it's crazy because everything that I'm sharing with you, other, you know, martial arts academy, marketing agencies, they will protect this and they will not share this with you, or they will share it with you at the exchange of you paying them, you know, large amounts. And I am doing this completely for free because I'm grateful for what martial arts had done for me, how it changed my life, and I want to help you reach out more people so that you can change other people's lives, right? And I'm really grateful to God for the work that you do. Week number 4. So what you want to focus on for week number 4 is to encourage enrollment. So how do you do this online? Online, you can share a final push, a final call to action, summarizing all the benefits that you have talked about within this past 3 months. So you want to bundle that up, right? And anything that has to do with mental health, physical health, emotional health, any benefit that you can think about martial arts, but more important, your school, because this allows you to stand out, right, as a clear choice for them. And offline, what you can do offline to achieve this goal for week number 4, which is encouraging enrollment, is that you can offer a limited time offer discount for whoever joins your school in person. And you can push this out through flyers, email follow-ups, community events, even social media if you want to as well. You can, you know, make it online, but it's an offline event. And offline events, when they're paired with online content, they help drive conversions up. They create a sense of urgency, and it allows you to, you know, put in your personal touch. Talking about personal touch, I didn't really talk about this now. I probably should have more throughout what I was covering everything here, but it is so important that you are brave enough to be vulnerable, to be real, to be transparent, to be yourself, to really talk about, in my opinion, you should talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the in-between, right? So you give people more of a holistic idea of what martial arts is. And that's going to make you more relatable, right? Like talking about the goods, talking about your struggles, talking about how, you know, martial arts has changed you, changed, you know, your students. It will be such a great way for you to build a connection with people, be real, stand out, because not a lot of martial arts school owners are doing that right now. And so, you know, that being said, I want to move on to my final last advice for you, right? And that is to evaluate and adjust, right? So everything that I'm giving to you here, take it with a grain of salt, right? Figure out how to make it yours, right? Figure out what you can modify, right? Again, if you're not able to see everything that I have here, don't worry about it. You know, just click on the link that I have on the video description. And if you send me your email, I will then send you immediately this plan that I have here I have extensive notes, a bunch of visuals. It's just a manual that you just have to follow. Think about it like a map. You just have to follow the map and you'll get the results. But again, take it with a grain of salt. Adjust it, make it yours. Also, have a playful mindset, right? And think about everything that I shared with you and play with the ideas and take it a step further to make it your own and see what works. Also, pay attention to what doesn't work, right? And what doesn't work, iterate it. Because you're not gonna get it all right the first time. I mean, let's be real. The first time that you tried a rear neck chokehold, I mean, I know I didn't, probably you did, but chances are you didn't pull it off on your first try. Or spinning roundhouse kick. You know, I don't know, maybe you just gifted like that, you know, but once again, I know I didn't pull that off on the first try. I mean, I'm still struggling with that, you know, but that is what I'm trying to say. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes careful attention to figure out, you know, what doesn't work, and experimenting to iterate it and improve it to finally do whatever martial arts move you want to do. Is the same here. The plan that I'm giving you, you have to iterate on it. You have to pay attention to what works, pay attention to what doesn't work, fix it quickly, learn the lesson. All right, guys, I had a blast creating this plan, putting it together online, and also covering it here on the whiteboard. Still playing with concepts, realizing that it's hard to see, so I got to figure out what to do about that. But listen, thank you for staying all the way to the end. Thank you for, you know, the support. Again, if you want this, make sure to go to my link and you can get it completely for free. It will be in your inbox. You can check it out whenever you want. You can see it on your computer. You can see it on your laptop. I just said the same thing. Or your cell phone, wherever you want, right? Make sure to stay tuned, because the next video that I'm going to be posting is going to talk about all the mistakes that you want to avoid whenever you're doing a marketing campaign, whenever you're doing marketing planning. You want to avoid those things so that you can avoid the headaches and pains that I went through. All right, guys, that's all. Take care.